Welcome to the VA Claims Bootcamp, where we're harnessing the power of AI to supercharge your claims and help you win the benefits you earn. Today, we're diving into the 5 essential laws from Title 38 of Code of Federal Regulations, 38 CFR for short. These are the rules the VA has to follow, and knowing them is like having a secret weapon. I'll break each one down in plain English, no legalese jargon. I'll explain what it really means for you, and most importantly, how you can use it to build a rock-solid claim and win. We'll eventually touch on how AI tools can help you spot these opportunities in your records. Let's gear up and get started. Number 1 is the reasonable doubt rule. Alright, first law, section 3.102, the reasonable doubt rule. This is the VA's promise to give you the benefit of the doubt, like a tie goes to a runner in a baseball, but here the runner is you, the vet. So let's go over the law. Reasonable doubt. It is defined and consistently applied policy of the Department of Veteran Affairs to administer the law under a broad interpretation, consistent, however, with the facts as shown in every case. When after careful consideration of all procurable and assembled data, a reasonable doubt arises regarding the degree of disability or the right of the claimant to eligibility, such doubt will be resolved in favor of the claimant. So in layman terms, if the evidence in your claim is evenly split, say one doctor's opinion says yes, other says maybe, the VA has to side with you and approve the claim. No more denying just because it's not crystal clear. How to use this law to win. When submitting your claim, highlight any close calls in your evidence, like conflicting medical opinions. Use AI tools to scan your records and flag these doubt areas, then cite this rule in your appeals letter to force the VA to tip the scales in your favor. I've seen this turn denials into rules overnight. Number 2, the duty to assist. Next up, section 3.159, the duty to assist. Think of this as a VA being your sidekick. They can't just sit back. They have to help you gather the proof. Section 3.159, subsection C, obtaining records for disability compensation claims. In a claim for disability compensation, VA will make reasonable efforts to obtain relevant private records that the claimant adequately identifies. VA will also make reasonable efforts to obtain relevant records from federal departments or agencies, including service medical records. VA will provide medical examination or obtain medical opinion when such an examination or opinion necessary to decide the claim. So in plain English, the VA must chase down your records from doctors, hospitals, or even the military if you point them out in the right direction. If something's missing that could help, they'll also give you a free exam or expert opinion. How to use this to win. If your claim gets denied for lack of evidence, fire back citing this law and demand that they get the missing records or schedule that exam. AI can help you by analyzing your claim file to spot gaps like unrequested buddy statements or old service records, so you can remind the VA of their duty. This law has saved countless claims from trash bin, so use it to your advantage. Number 3, the principles of service connection, section 3.303. The backbone of this claim, section 3.303, principles relating to service connection. This spells out the magic 3 ingredients you need to connect your disability to your service. Section 3.303, subsection A, general. Service connection connotes many factors, but it means that the facts shown by evidence establish a particular injury or disease resulting in disability was incurred coincident with service in the armed forces or a pre-existing such service was aggravated therein. In short, 3 things must be established: the existence of present disability, 2, in-service incurrence or aggravation of a disease or injury, and 3, a causal relationship between present disability and the disease or injury incurred or aggravated during service. Layman's breakdown. You gotta prove 1, you have a disability now. 2, something happened in the service that caused or worsened it. 3, there's a direct link between 2, and that's the nexus. How to use this law to win. Structure your claim around these 3 pillars. Get a current diagnosis from your doctor, dig up service records for in-service event, and use a nexus letter from the specialist to tie it all together. AI apps can review medical history to suggest strong nexus links you might miss, making your claim airtight and harder for the VA to deny. Number 4, secondary service connection. Number 4, secondary service connection, section 3.310. This one's a hidden gem. 3.310, secondary service connection. It is when one service connected issue causes another problem down the line. Section 3.310, subsection A, general. Except as provided in paragraph E of this section, disability which is approximated due or to the result of service-connected disease or injury shall be service-connected. When service connection is thus established for secondary secondary condition, the secondary condition shall be considered part of the original condition. In simple terms, if your service-connected bad knee messes up your back for limping all these years, the back issue gets service-connected too. It's like a chain of reaction. How to use this law to win. If you have a rated condition leading to new problems, file a secondary claim and get doctor's note explaining the proximate cause. AI can analyze your symptoms over time to predict secondary conditions, helping you claim them early and boost your overall rating. I've used this to add 20 to 30% on average to vets ratings easily. Number 5, direct service condition and continuity. Section 3.304, subsection B, which covers chronicity and continuity. With chronic diseases shown such as in service, subsequent manifestation of the same chronic disease at a later date, however remote, are for determination of service connection. For showing of chronic disease in service, there is required combination of manifestations sufficient for identify the disease entity and sufficient observation to establish chronicity. When the fact of chronicity in service is not established, a showing of continuity of symptomology is required to support the claim. In everyday language, it means if a chronic condition like migraine started in service and keeps popping up even years later, it's connected. No in-service diagnosis, show ongoing symptoms since then. How to use this to win. Collect lay statements from family or buddies about your symptoms over time, plus medical records showing the pattern. Okay, this about just wraps it up for the lesson today, and I'll see you on today's mission debrief.